Hi there, this is Jamie Waters, and today I'm going to show you a process video using the October Scrapbook Main Kit storyboard. So I want to apologize ahead of time and let you know that I filmed this halfway through and I had technical difficulties. So a good portion of this layout is already cut. I'm just had to peel everything off to show you how I assemble it. So the fuchsia magenta looking cardstock was included in the kit, and I'm just gonna leave part of that other part of pattern paper there so that I can see the cute little tear strip, which is the stripes. This blue and white stripe here is from a digital printable card. I just trimmed it down. And so what I'm going to do, I use two 4x6 photos here, and I'm going to just use a bunch of different pattern papers that are in the kit. I made some strips, and I'd even bother cutting off that little portion where it has the name Studio Calico because I knew I was gonna layer a bunch of different papers and cover it up anyways. So I'm all about saving time, and you can see here I'm just starting to tear off my bits here. I don't even bother trimming them. And also tucking in my photo there, which was a 4x6 to start with, and instead of cutting it, I tucked it behind the other portrait-sized 4x6. I'm also really big on symbolism in my layouts. So here I'm using that little domino that says, that shows six, and there's six in our family. So I, of course, had to include that, and I wanted to make sure that it stood out. And it doesn't necessarily mean that people need to know what it means, but I do, so that's enough for me. Um, I keep going back on those rubber hearts because I didn't know what color to use, so you could see throughout this video I keep picking it up. And so I just trim the edges off of the excess around the layout. Um, that way I'm still using the 12 by 12 fuchsia cardstock, and it gives it a little bit more sturdiness. And this is the yarn here, and again you can see I'm just gonna tear it again instead of cutting. So I'm all about quick and easy. So I love this kit. There's so many things that I probably wouldn't normally gravitate to, like magenta and the mustard together and the navy all together as a whole. I would not pick those colors. But of course, Studio Calico has a way of making those colors work. You see them all together and you're like, of course that makes sense. So what I love about these kits is that, you know, instead of me always doing my go-to craft background or white background, I'm constantly being pushed to think outside the box. Like, I'm not a red person, and to use a red heart on my layout, you know, it's not something I would normally do, but, you know, the kit just inspires me to do different things. So, I end up going with this red one here. I'm watching myself do it, and I'm like, come on, hurry up, just do it. I end up using the stapler because I just have a hard time. Sometimes I go back and my adhesive doesn't really hold down really well. Over time, it gets kind of rubbery and sticky. You can see, look at my desk. I even have two adhesives there, and there's actually another one that's not in the camera. I don't know why I have to have three different ones on my desk at one time, but there you go. So again, ripping, tucking that under. I didn't realize there was a part of the photo that I didn't really like, so that worked out well, is to just have that little scrap hanging out. This is the cutest little grid stamp, and I am going to use it for my journaling. I'm using the Coral Bay there, and I just love these inks. Who else has a total obsession with them? Because they just go on super nicely and clean and with pops of color. You know, again, stretching my creativity because normally I'm a stamper in black. So I'm ditching this corner over there because I realize that's where my journaling is going to go, but instead of tossing it, I'm going to just layer it here as a little photo corner. So I'm going to do one more in glass slipper, and then I'm just going to have these journaling blocks down the side there. And I love that it has a touch of the yarn on these cards. there's our title, and I'm just going to add a few of those magenta strips. Again, something I probably would have not um, purchased on my own, but then it came together. And look at that navy and the magenta. I just love it. It just looks like such a solid color combo that I am so glad that they paired together this month. It's like a fallish, autumny color that's out of the box. So this is just the printables from Marcy, and I'm cutting out a little phrase there. I know you can't see it, but maybe in the pictures afterwards you could see a little bit more close-up of everything. Oh, look at me actually cutting a strip instead of tearing it. And there you go. I'm just adding this last little bit here. Lots of different strips so that you could see all the different patterns. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching.